School leaders move closer towards implementing an in-house bus transportation system. Local officials celebrate the vital resources provided by the Mass 211 hotline and the story of one man's research into centuries of his family's history, and how residents can learn more about his journey into countless stories during Black History Month. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start this week with an update on the city's shift to an in-house school bus transportation system, as school officials in Framingham are looking to hire additional bus drivers and bus monitors as city employees. During the school committee's meeting on February 5th, Executive Director of Finance and Operations for Framingham Public Schools, Lincoln Lynch, said that full-time positions for drivers and monitors have been posted online, with full-time driver positions being listed at $35 an hour with additional hiring perks, including paid training to receive a commercial driver's license, even if applicants have never gotten one before. These positions are being advertised amid the continued challenges that have come from a shortage of bus drivers within the city, an issue that school leaders have been working to address for months. Lynch said that the current plan within the school district is to utilize an in-house busing system where drivers work as employees of the city by July 1st. Until then, he described the current strategy of advertising these drivers and monitor positions as a, quote, full court press.
It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for 2+ years maybe, but this is, our first step towards bringing busing in-house starting July 1.
Mass 211 Day was celebrated this Tuesday, February 11th at the United Way of Tri-County's Framingham headquarters. Local and state leaders gathered to recognize the work put in by operators for Mass 211, the statewide hotline service that connects those who dial 211 on their phone with essential non-emergency health and human services, like details on shelter locations, government benefits, and support for seniors and families. More than 483,000 calls were received by Mass 211 last year.
We've been very lucky that we've had tremendous support. It's a big deal for us to be able to help when the need is there. And that's all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Call to Talk, a mental and emotional health resource that's accessed by dialing 988, is a part of Mass 211's operations. An accredited National Suicide Prevention Lifeline Crisis Center, Call to Talk operators speak with those in crisis through a process that Director Eileen Davis described as compassionate, non-judgmental, and empathetic.
Day in and day out, our Mass 211 and Call to Talk team connects and supports callers in ways that will enhance their lives while allowing them to feel heard and validated.
A reminder that help is available to you or anyone you may know. Residents can dial 988 or any of the numbers on your screen at any time to speak with a member of the Call to Talk team who will listen and provide help. Call to Talk can also be reached via text message. Text C2T, that's the letter C, the number 2, followed by the letter T, to 741-741. More details on those stories regarding busing and Mass 211 can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. There you can also read additional stories that matter to your community, watch full feature pieces from across Framingham, and check out our calendar filled with local events. Tell your neighbors about the latest source for local information, and subscribe to The Frame's email newsletter to stay updated. Also, find us on social media. The Frame can be found at @FrameNews_ on Instagram, and you can search for us on Facebook too. Our weekly news program is available on Access Framingham's YouTube channel, as well as on The Frame's Spotify channel. Subscribe to our feeds on both of those platforms. Framingham Public Health Director Bill Murphy provided an update on overall health and wellness initiatives within the community during the Board of Health's meeting on Tuesday the 11th. He explained that he and other public health leaders recently met with stakeholders across the city to discuss how services can be improved, especially while considering their bandwidth.
I just want to let you know this is strategizing how to best maximize public health services with the resources we have. And I think it's going to be a relatively difficult budget year. So with limited budgets, how do we partner with our stakeholders to get out and fill gaps in healthcare?
Murphy said that he and his team are looking to see how they can utilize a new mobile health unit, support vaccinations along with other health initiatives at Framingham Public Schools' Welcome Center, and welcome volunteers into the fold to offer public health assistance. The health director said that he and the rest of the community partners will continue to meet throughout the year. Framingham High School is now the home of some newly minted champions. First, the Lady Flyers were named the hip-hop dance champs of the Bay State Conference on Saturday, February 8th. That victory was enough to punch their ticket to the statewide competition. Another big achievement from this past weekend, the Framingham boys swimming and diving team captured their first self-sectional title during a meet at MIT on Sunday the 9th. FHS skiers Andrew and Nick Parnell have qualified for the state meet on February 25th, too. We'd like to congratulate the local athletes on their achievements. And finally this week, a preview of our frame-by-frame segment as we continue our partnership with the Framingham History Center. February, of course, marks Black History Month in the U.S. On Thursday, February 20th, the History Center will be hosting a lecture and discussion featuring Eric Reynolds. Over the course of several years, Eric researched the history and lineage of his family. We spoke with Eric ahead of his lecture entitled 1780 to 2025 Reclaimed, a Child of That Next Day. He told us about his work along with the importance of recognizing the hardships, the perseverance, and the triumphs associated with his family, as well as the African American experience.
It means a sense of place, but it also means confronting heartbreak. We were able to find my fourth great grandmother, and she was just simply listed as Jane, mother of Eli, along with her price that she was sold for. We have to fight to make sure our stories are not erased because our stories are us. They are our family. And, something as simple as, saying that they don't exist is doing active damage.
As always, that full frame-by-frame segment can be found on our website, theframe.news, as well as Access Framingham's channel on YouTube. Again, Eric's lecture and discussion event is taking place next Thursday night, the 20th at 7 p.m. It's being held virtually on Zoom. For more details on that event and to learn more about local history, log on to framinghamhistory.org. That's all for this week's edition of Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of the entire team here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.